I read the novel The Story of Edgar Sawtelle by David Roborowski. The Fosterian elements used in the story is Chapter 9, More Than Just Rain or Snow, and Chapter 12, Is That a Symbol? For starters, Chapter 9, More Than Just Rain or Snow, explains how weather, specifically rain and snow, can represent a character's mood in a story. In the novel, Edgar dreams multiple times of spending time with his father in a setting where it seems quite sunny, but when he awakens, the weather returns to wet and cold. This brings Edgar back to reality with no father. The change in weather allows the readers to understand the shift in mood Edgar undergoes while he is awake. This chapter also discusses the symbolic change rain can bring, and often the mystery that follows it. A very crucial part that happens in the novel is when Edgar hears one of his dogs barking late at night. He then begins to investigate it in the pouring rain, only to find the outline of his father's ghost in the distance. His father then leads him to the very syringe that Edgar's uncle used to kill him. The rain not only brings mysterious ghosts of Edgar's father, but also alludes to the fact that Edgar just solved his father's murder, which significantly changes Edgar's future. We see another example of rain bringing changes to Edgar's life when he and a fellow traveler encounter a tornado while on their way up north. The tornado, or rather waterspouts, made one of Edgar's dogs angry, so she ran towards it. And in that moment, Edgar realized he had to go back to the farm. Watching his dog bark at the waterspout brought change upon Edgar, helping him realize he could not run away, ultimately making him stronger. This chapter discussed the importance of rain and weather in novels. The storms that occurred in the story of Edgar Sawtelle revealed the changes taking place within the plot of Edgar and Edgar himself. It also helped readers depict the mood shifts taking place throughout the story. The second Fosterian element that applies to the novel is Chapter 12, Is That a Symbol? Foster begins Chapter 12 by explaining the difference between a symbol and an allegory. The story of Edgar Sawtelle is an allegory, meaning the whole story can be interpreted to reveal one meaning. In this case, the novel is based off Shakespeare's Hamlet. Roborowski drew on Hamlet while writing his novel, retelling the story of a young man whose father is killed by his uncle, who then takes his father's place. The young man then runs away, undergoes changes, and returns home to reveal his uncle as his father's murderer. The entire novel is an allegory. In Foster's 12th chapter, he explains that symbols can have more than one meaning or interpretation. We see this in the story of Edgar Sawtelle with the cloud of smoke symbol. Towards the end of the novel, the Sawtelle barn goes up in flames with Edgar's uncle trapped inside. I believe the smoke from the barn fire symbolized Edgar's father's angry ghost getting his revenge on Edgar's uncles for murdering him. And I also believe that the cloud of smoke symbolizes the universe displaying bad karma on the uncle for all his sins. Foster's 12th chapter reminds readers that the cloud of smoke can mean both things. Another example of Chapter 12 is Edgar's inability to speak. Edgar cannot speak, but it still has a deep connection with his dogs, using sign language and motions to communicate. Many believe Edgar's dogs symbolize his voice, meaning the dogs often speak for him.